So let's say you were 40 years old. You wanted to retire in about 10 years at about age 50. You wanted to do it with $1 million, but you just started to invest this year. What would you do? How would that work? What would that look like? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be answering a special question from a viewer, and hopefully it can inspire many of you as you are on your investing and wealth building journey. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you stay tuned. Hey everyone, my name is Shelise, also known as Mommy Trader here on YouTube. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you are new around here, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I do appreciate you guys being here. I am a mother, a wife. I do believe in investing. I'm big on it. I do show real numbers. And I'm hoping that, you can find some motivation here. Check out a lot of my playlists. I have almost 400 videos on this channel where I share my screen. I take you inside of our accounts and I really try to show you with practical investing tips about how you can really grow your money even in downturns, okay? So I do have my notes here, I have my laptop, and you're going to see it up on your screen, and we're going to walk through this together. And I'm actually thinking of introducing this as a segment on my channel about like what would Shelise do, because that's literally what they asked. Like, they gave me some of the information and they said, I know this is not financial advice, but what would you do? And so I might introduce this. Like, if you want to be featured on the channel, you will be anonymous. I won't even share like your gender or your location, just the facts, and just really share like what would I do if I was in that situation. Because I know sometimes, we want some type of guidance. We just want somebody to be honest with us, to be non-judgmental, and just give us some help. Now, keep in mind, I cannot dive deep into this because I don't know all of the particulars. That's why I have the one-on-ones, because we can share screens. I literally can walk through statements with you and your budget with you and all of that type of stuff. So if you need help, check out my site. But if you want to be featured on the channel, like what would Shelise do, send me an email and I will send you a template. You can fill it out. Again, it will be anonymous. And that way you can kind of, you'll help other people who may be a little, nervous or afraid to, share, but you can still keep, who you are private, if that makes sense. But I thought this was really, really good topic, and I wanted to make a video about it, and they gave me the okay to do that. Also, before I get into this video, November 20th, okay, so that's the week of Thanksgiving, I will be having a money/financial goals webinar. It will be, I'll probably do like $10 a seat. It'll be 2 hours. If you want to be featured in terms of like money goals that you have, and you're like, Shelise, is this realistic for next year? Can I really do this? I'll have you fill out a template so that we can know like your income and all of that, and really try to, talk through this, right? Like, is this something that you can really achieve? Maybe you're reaching too high. Maybe you're not reaching high enough. I will have more information about that in a description box below if you would like to join. I wanted to do something private away from YouTube where we can really talk about it. So maybe you don't want to share like what your goals are. You just want to attend just to kind of get some inspiration and motivation. Maybe you want to be featured anonymously. Like, again, like this, we'll just share the goal. You will share some information and we will just talk through it. Maybe you want to be on camera and share your face and or audio. Those are all options as well. But I really do like meeting collectively and just hashing out money and financial goals for next year, because we're working on ours and we take our goals very, very seriously. And I may have some special guests pop in, like my husband. Okay. So yes, y'all don't want to miss that. So let's get right into this. Okay. So what would Shelise do? So this person said, I want to retire at age 50. They've been watching the videos. They've been watching other videos on other channels. They've been looking up Dave Ramsey and Jaspreet Singh and, just different ones. They've seen the light now with their finances, and they want to retire a little earlier in terms of stepping away from their job and maybe doing something part-time that they really, really wanted to do, but don't have to focus so much on salary. So if I was in this stage, and before I talk about what I would do, let's go over this. So they're currently 40, age 40, and a family of 4. Okay. They did say it's okay to share that they are on the West Coast. So again, where you live is kind of important in terms of cost of living, but still, age 40, family of 4, 2 smaller children. Their combined household income is $75,000. $75,000. Okay, so we know that. So it's always good to know your current age, and it's always good to know what you bring home. So $75,000. They have $5,900 invested so far. They just started in January of this year. So that's actually pretty good to have that much invested so far. I will say that. But they have $13K in credit card debt. So we have some important information, just a few bullet points. So that's good. So what would I do if I was sitting in your shoes in this situation and I had these same goals? So one of the things I will tell you, and you will see this up on your screen, is that number one, I would have to increase my income. You have to understand, if you are 40 and you want to, let's say, back away from your job at age 50, that's 10 years. $1 million is a lot of money to grow in 10 years. So the first thing that I would do is I would be networking like a mad woman. I would be on LinkedIn or trying to maybe switch fields. If I want to stay with my current employer, I would look for ways to maybe get a raise if I needed to get a certification, or maybe even going back to school so that I can get more money. I would definitely be trying to look into ways where I can position myself to get increases or to get a raise. Perhaps your company offers company stock. That's another salary compensation vehicle or pathway that you can use. But I would definitely increase my income, because that's a lot. And that's not saying it's impossible, but your sis is also a realist. And so in 10 years, you can do $1 million, but you got to increase your income, because again, with 2 younger children, I know, because I'm a parent, children are very, very expensive, and we need to look at how much can you invest per month. And that's the second thing that I would be looking at if I was in his shoes. Like, okay, I need to increase my income, but I have children, I have bills, I have things going on. How much can I set aside to invest? But I need to create a mock budget in order to do that. Okay. So a lot of people, when they're thinking about retirement, or they're thinking about stepping away, they're thinking about taking a sabbatical, they're not really thinking about, like, okay, what are my expenses going to look like? If I do not have as much income as I'm used to, but my expenses are still the same, then we're going to run into a problem. So I would do a mock budget, look where I can cut things out, things that I'm not using, and be honest with yourself. I understand, because, cutting the gym for me was a hard one, but I had to be honest. Like, I'm not going to the gym. I haven't been to the gym since the pandemic. Why am I paying $14.99 a month for something I'm not using? And you don't think that $14.99 a month adds up? It adds up. And we don't want to waste any money, especially in this environment we're in right now with recession and inflation. Create a mock budget. That's something else that I would do in this situation. Again, not knowing all of the details. Next is I would be investing heavily. All right. You need to be investing in, I would say, good blue chip or value companies, good companies that, right now are really undervalued. I mean, Amazon is under $100 right now. Everybody shop on Amazon. That's a good company. Google is under $100. The company who owns YouTube, the way you're watching this video, they own YouTube. So that's a great company. Again, not financial advice, but start with places that you already own. Like if you have Apple products, if you have Samsung products, if you go to Lowe's on a regular basis, the Dollar Tree, Walmart, Target, those are great places to start. I will also get my dividend investing up a lot, because we want to make money while we are trying to grow our money the right way. I'm not a trader, I'm an investor, and dividend investing is a great way to get paid and then get those dividends reinvested back into the position to give you a greater share size. So invest like heavily, because making $75,000 trying to get to $1 million in 10 years with a family and just life, again, it's not impossible, but we got to be really, really strategic about what we are doing. You also got to pay off the debt. The credit card debt is very, very important. This is where the sacrifice is going to come in, as you can see. You got to stay away from, if you're going to get into debt, again, this is not financial advice, fixed rates are a whole lot better than variable rates. Every time the federal government increases those rates, you see your savings account, you get so happy about that, which is great. But on the back end, they are increasing the credit cards. They are increasing the car loans. They are increasing student loans. All of that other type of stuff that we're not thinking about right now. is increasing and outpacing what we're getting in a savings account. So I want you to understand that. And there's good and bad debt. I will say that, because if you're buying a property, that's to me good debt. If you are getting credit card debt, that is not good debt. So again, we want to be really strategic about what we're taking on. If somehow you inherit a property or you get a big bonus and you buy a property, to me, that's helping you get to your $1 million faster, versus if you have a Visa card or a Victoria's Secrets card and it has a big balance and you're paying like 20.99%, you're actually working backwards. So if I was getting like a tax refund, it would go towards paying off this debt. And I actually thought about bringing a retirement calculator into this, but I decided not to, because I don't want to overwhelm people. I actually want to start with where people are. So if I was in this situation, I would do these things. Another thing that I would do is make sure my emergency fund is beefed up, especially with the family, because investing is great, but you got to have your financial foundation laid first. Your budget, your emergency fund, that's your financial foundation. You need to have an emergency fund because things are just getting more and more expensive, and you don't want to cash out your investments to get tires on a car or to fix a window that your kid broke in the house. Having an emergency fund, and I would say try to work on 1 month first. That's what I would do. Then I would work on 3 months and then 6 months. Okay. But you can still invest. So let's say to this person, you have $500 available to invest and save every month. I would put $200 to my savings, $300 to invest. When I get big chunks of money, that means if I'm getting a tax refund, and trust me, Lord willing, come tax time, I'm going to be on this channel reminding you guys to be wise with your tax money, because I get it. I grew up that way. I misused the tax refunds too, but tax refunds also like springboarded us into where we are now. We just started paying off the credit card debt and kept it off. So any big chunks of money that I knew I was getting, I will be putting towards some of my goals. Again, it is a big goal going from age 40 to age 50 and trying to get 1 million, and you make 75K. But if I was in your shoes, I would increase my income. I would make a mock budget, cut out everything that I don't need. I would look into a side hustle. Look, I'm a big fan of side hustles. MT is a side hustle. I'm filming this video early in the morning. This is a side hustle. This is a part-time job for me. But guess what? I get income. I actually pay myself from my business every month now from this job. So again, try to get a side hustle if you can. Drive Uber Eats on weekends, something to kind of use that extra money towards one of your goals. Get the debt down. That's very important. Get your emergency fund established. Invest heavily, 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 and just be prepared to make a sacrifice. And also, before I end, if you're married, you got to be on the same page, because guess what? Nothing deters goals faster than, bumping heads. I'm just being really, really honest at the end of the day. You have to be on the same page. You don't have to agree with everything, but you both have to agree, like, okay, we're going to make the sacrifice. We're going to do what we need to do to kind of move forward together so that we can achieve our goals. So that is what I will do. Again, not knowing all the details, and you guys chime in as well. And because you guys I love how this community is that I have over here on MT. We really are about building each other up. I do not tolerate judgment, or hatefulness on this channel. I will bless and block in a heartbeat. Y'all know this. But any advice that you would give this person, just knowing what you know, what would you do if you were in this situation and you had this goal? Another thing that we may have to do is just adjust the goal a bit. Maybe we don't need $1 million. Maybe we'll be okay with $700,000. You never know, but you won't know that until you make a mock budget to see where you can cut out. What do you realistically need to live on? And then you can have like a number that you are aiming for. So let me know how you guys like this What Would Shelise Do series. I may bring this back like every week if you guys really like it. And if you want to be featured anonymously, send me an email and I'll be more than happy to. If I do feature you, I will give you a discount on a one-on-one so that we can kind of talk about this in detail. We can take the veil down and we can really dive deep into this in a private session. So reach out to me, to this person who was featured, and I will give you a discount on a private session, and we can just talk without the veil up, and we can really work on a plan for you and your family to achieve your goals. So again, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Follow me over on Instagram, and until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.